I looked at some videos about Riley's method.
Yes, Riley and Loomis.
Riley's.
Riley, this one is Loomis method.
Oh,
But
that'll
it's
be right.
Yeah. Oh, was Riley good?
Well, there was a circle, and then
yes,
there was about 20,000 other marks here, there, everywhere, and it looked very much like a grid
yes.
that had been designed to keep the proportions appropriate. But I didn't get onto the bit about when it wasn't straight on. You know, this is going to be.
This is going to be
Yeah,
very
I'm sure you'll explain
intuitive
better.
as well. Yes, so not only measurable. Yeah, yes. But this is not this. It's less. It's less. It's more logical than, in my view, than Riley, the Loomis method. So what we do, you can do it on the drawing as well. Do you remember that the circle, which represents the cranium, the circle, which is actually here, circle, and then you have another circle within the circle.
Oh, good grief.
Huh? I know, Jane.
Is that, that's the
So that's the circle, which is, yes, this circle here.
It's kind of funny, just to show you.
I will apply it loosely. It's not exactly, because the way that he's looking is it's a very difficult pose. It's a pose which you have to be aware that everything is moving up that way. So it's looking upwards. So probably the circle a little bit bigger to encompass his ear. Yeah, maybe a bit bigger. So I can put his ear on the circle, so a bit bigger to highlight. Oh, and then that little circle, which is the side plane of his head, we'll also put the ear there. So that, and then you have another. Now we don't see that, but this is the side plane. We've said this is this side, and this one here, another oval line has to be like this, but we don't see that line. We don't see that on the other side. We do not see. And from the circle, from the circle you have, on that little second circle, we have an angle of about not 45 degrees, but it's an angle like this, that. And then you have the middle of this little side plane, which is another oval circle. It's not circle. So a line which cuts that oval shape in the middle, another line, and that line represents the jaw. Look, you drop it like that. There, one. Then this side of the circle, you extend that, and it's a kind of it's moving downwards slightly. So it's that what I'm actually seeing there. Yeah? And then you have another line which is on the circle itself. You have the middle of this circle, but we cannot. Yeah, it is the middle. It's the middle of the circle. So that, and another line underneath here that should represent the nose. So these two, which is the eyebrow, the nose, you take that and you move it down, and this is where you need to cut or emphasize the jaw. So eyebrow, hairline, which you do not see. Hairline is at the end of the circle here. Well, it's a bit lower than the end. The end of the circle is actually top of his head. But here you have that line, which is somewhere here. Then you have the eyebrow, then you have the nose, and then take that measurement, move it down. Again, that will give you the jaw, or should give you the jaw. You said it looks more like a head? This is basically what they do. This is how they create a helmet for motorcyclists. I've seen that in a documentary in India, which was actually do it by hand there. So this is, look, this is the average head, but he's not of an average head. He looks to me like a very, very elongated jaw, a bit like Will Young there. Yeah? Very, that type of person which I have there. Huge jaw, well, huge in the sense that bigger than the average. So this guy is different. So that is for a normal head or the ideal head. Then you have to adapt it to specific people, like in this model here. So with that line, inside that line, you start putting the eyebrow, there. Then you have the nose, that line will be the end of the line here. So it's basically not on the line, it will be the end of the line, or the beginning of the line will be, the nose goes upwards like this. So it's a kind of a triangle shape which moves like this. Yeah? So at that line, that will be the beginning of his nose, and then from the end of the nose to the chin, there's another middle. End of the nose to the chin, and there's another middle, which is actually possibly the end of the lower lip, and then you have the upper lip here. So you see, I do have quite a few details now, which I can anchor my drawing and develop from now on, develop things from now on for, to complete it basically. Eyebrow, this eyebrow is higher, so within that line that I had the middle of the sphere here, push the eyebrow there, and that eyebrow is lower. And to help me out, I can use a little bit of shadows here. And then here. And the shadows, have you noticed, they're concentrated right on this area. Because here you have reflected light here. And the ear, where do I have the ear? The ear is, do you remember that little oval circle, which is that one, and that's where the ear stands. That's where the ear is. And the end of that, of the ear, is basically where we said is where the, the end of the ear is pretty much the same line with the nose, so there. So the ear is there, and then the ear is here, go that side, ear is there, and then that line again lines with the ear on the side, on a oval of the oval circle, and hairline, which is somewhere here, and I can connect those and create kind of a neck here, and then you have that the shadow of the neck, and the Adam's apple here, you have this end of the neck up here, and his shoulder. And also I can now cut the charcoal in the middle of side of the charcoal, and I can use the side of the charcoal now to create those shadows, because now all those lines, they might confuse you, and they confuse me as well in a way. So I guess without lines it would be easier, but I can now, what I can do, look, create those shadows here. They were missing before. So I can go quicker now to complete the head based on those lines. And again, don't forget there are particular features on any model, on any given model. Again, we said this model has a large jaw, elongated jaw. Then you have shadows here, and then under that line, which is the middle of that little circle, you have the eyebrow. And don't forget the eye, which is emphasized with a light, and then the rest of the eyeball is quite dark. I don't want it to look like he's looking up, because that's confusing. And then you have the other eye up here. And then forehead, hairline, and the jaw. The jaw is a little bit further back. So it's just a matter now, based on those lines, you can construct the head. Again, I don't know what's happening here, but he looks to have a bit of a tail, yes, ponytail, yes. And a little bit of a darker shadow here, and working on his jaw. Now, bear with me to work a little bit on the shadows, so you will see that those lines, because I'm loosely, not very strictly, I've used the method a little bit loosely today. Okay? And I've done it small because to be honest, would be it's easier to finish it. That's why I've created a very small portrait today. And also, this side will have to be darker, and that will restrict you his face as well. Then the nose jumps out like that. That helps to understand, or to have a more of a where the face actually is. The hair is actually blended with the background. And a general darker shadow here. So you see I can lose the lines like that. And I can come back now and get rid of the lines on my drawing, so I can see a little bit more, on my photocopy, so I can see a bit more of the shadows, and then lighten it up, this one here. Emphasize the neck, come into the ear, hair, side, hair here, and working now on the middle of the nose. Jaw. That is a tricky, this one is a very tricky side, this one. Where to get the forehead, where is the forehead, and where it lines up. So his eyebrow and his eye, there is an angle there, which is pretty much like the angle of the nose. They're very close. One straight down line goes right at his nostril. But then that implies that our nostril is correct, because I can put it at the nostril, but I might have the nose incorrectly. But I think it looks okay, it looks fine. So that's where you have this corner here, and then you have the nose, which exceeds his face. I don't know if you follow me, that exceeds, basically that little highlight goes outside of the contour of the outline. And the chin is, now I've noticed the chin is further out. I've just noticed, yes, a lot more, actually further, a lot more than I've done it at the moment. And there you have it. And then don't forget, then a line which is, and it gives him more of a neck, highlight on the neck. And his ear, apparently I had the ear inside the circle, which it's correct, it's inside but it feels like it's too close, my ear is too close. So what you do, you adapt, because as I said, that method is for the average head. This guy has a more of an elongated head or more jaw, so then you adapt the ear, it feels a little bit further from the head and with highlights. So you darken it first, like I've darkened the whole dark side of his face, and now you can highlight it with your putty rubber and adapt the ear. And with the ear also, don't forget the side plane of the face. Look, cheekbone, jaw. You see this taking shape? You see, you can apply, you can make it like that. You just have to be, and if it doesn't work, again, try the circle, try the outside the circle, or the outline of the circle. You just expand the jawline, and then measuring the middle of the circle with the nose, well, with another line which is under the circle, which is I think it's one. Yes, it's not. I think it's on the circle itself. You do that. That little one, so you do middle of that side plane, expand that, and then the end of that circle you can create. These are the measurements I was talking about. That's the hairline, eyebrow, nose, and then you take these two, or that, move it down, and that will be your jawline. There. This is what I was saying earlier on. Nina is not too happy about that. Okay.
It's better if we do it as you're doing it, because otherwise, yeah, it's better if next time you could do it, and then we could all do that bit, then you could do
Oh,
it. Do you know what I mean?
I
Because
see.
now we can't remember.
No, we've forgotten everything.
Oh, I see.
But
We've done that before though. We've done
Okay.
those circles before. I
yeah,
remember
long
doing
time.
that.
Yeah,
long
I
time.
do.
Okay,
I
do you
can
want-
understand about the side plane. That really works well when you see that it's.
Do you want me to do
on
it
the
again
side.
then? I'll do it again.
No, it's fine for today.
No, but I can do it now slowly. I can do it again.
I've tried to follow you as
Okay.
I can, but I don't know whether anyone else has.
Okay, but you see that it works because it starts, taking shape. And it starts getting very, very close to that particular, well, to a generic head, and then
Yeah.
you have particular features which you need to fix and adapt to that method.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a sign.
Okie dokie. Now I need to stop that. All right, let's get back to carry on with the drawing to complete it. So a little bit of darker tonal value that will define the head a little bit more. Then you'll have the hair going further there, a little bit more skull here to make it a bit more rounded. And having gone through the drawing or seeing or getting actually a little bit more advanced with the drawing, I can get rid of all these lines of the head. So that clears it up, clears up the portrait. Getting the nose lighter. Well, the tip of the nose. Then the filter. There. Upper lip, very sharp. Upper lip moves right down here. And then you have lower lip. There. Eyelid, eyeball. Eyelid is actually, it's got his eyes closed, so keep an eye on the eyelid, not to. I've just brightened it, I shouldn't brighten it, go back and darken it a little bit more. In that area it's quite light because it's a contra light. A lighter tonal value here. To highlight his light hair, flesh tone, which is quite light and it goes right up to the ear. And the ear is in a horizontal line, top of the lip goes right to the ear, bottom of the lip, right at the chin. So bottom of the ear goes right to the chin here, and that needs to be defined a bit more. Top of the lip, top of the ear is actually at the top of the lip. So the beginning of the ear is the top of the upper lip. Okay, that's correct. That's where it is going there too. So a bit more defined the ear. Now the ear can be a subject here because it's basically a subject in the sense that you can work a little bit more on the ear because we see it fully. It's right onto the side of the face that we see it So you see the whole profile of the head, and the ear is visible, and actually it's important in the sense that it's lit up. It's a secondary light coming through the lip, through the ear. You have a secondary light, the reflected, bouncing light. And the neck, it's got quite a thick neck because it's it looks like a well-built body. And a gymnast probably. Ponytail here, hair, and a little bit of hair up there. Okay, a bit further back, the Adam's apple, so that line a bit further back here. Can take some of my dust. Sorry for that. Some dust of charcoal dust. And a brush. And be a little bit more specific here with those darks. Now I can do those darks with a stump, but to be honest, with a brush, you control it a lot better. The only trouble is that the dust doesn't stay there. It just, as you can see, just falls down. But I can try and give it another go, or as many goes as possible, or necessary. Lower lip is quite dark. There, darker there. A bit more hair here. And darker here. Soften those darks around the head. All right, going back to it. Fix the camera because camera was zooming in and out by itself. Stronger values, stronger tonal values here. And then leave it there. And the eyebrow, which is part of a wider shadow. There. So I'm rotating the brush 360 degrees. Giving it a bit darker tonal values here. I'm trying to be very careful because it drops. Those darks, they just don't stay there. As you can see, just a bit of blow, a bit of a blow with your breath, and they just disappear. So possibly I need to use the stump. Stump now. Take the stump and then push that dark, push it to, and make the paper absorb those darks here. And a little bit of muscle here. Eyelid. It's closed eyelid. Shadow. And the shadowed forehead. Carrying on with this, I think it's a bit too strong. The way that I was suggesting the dark, so get the dark merged with the background, leave some highlights here on the background, so the eye also spreads to what's happening here around the face. So the eye actually not spread, but the eye actually focuses a little bit more on the surrounding area. Forehead. All right, okay. And highlight, some few highlights on here. Darker shading. Bit more hair. And I think I've gone a bit too far with the hair here, as in spread it too much, so I just can restrict that a little bit more. Some few highlights on these here, which is basically where the hair meets the skin tone. Lighter tonal value, lighter forehead, as it is, as I said, bouncing light. That's a bit lighter. The eyeball. The other eyeball a bit lighter too. Top of the nose, a bit lighter also. middle tone, the chin, hair, lights right here on the neck. All right, so a bit of dust on the charcoal, bring back a little bit of the big muscle here on the neck. Collarbone here. We don't see it obviously, but it's there. Possibly a little bit more, but bring back the neck. Further back the neck. A bit more of an S line here on the neck. Emphasis right down the jaw, and a reflected light here on the Adam's apple here. Alright, okay. And darker here. Yes, a bit lighter, but not too light. So it doesn't contradict or it doesn't take over from that light. The lower part here, not as light as the upper part up there. Forehead, eyebrow, eyelid, eyeball, eyebrows, bring it back a little bit more, darker here, and coming back to the jaw. There. And bring back the jaw a bit more, but not by lines, by brightening up right here. A vertical line, tip of the jaw just goes there. Tip of the jaw is here. So just by brightening up this one, that will be enough. I don't need to bring up a line as such. Well, like might be, but not a strong line, a very, very soft line. There, an extremely soft line. Okay. Now, I'll spray it before I spray it, so I want to put some more darks to this. I want to make it a little bit more of a study, if you like. Spray it first, but before I spray it, keep an eye always. You brighten up the light areas because you cannot brighten them anymore once you've sprayed it, and then add some darks. With your charcoal. Bit more jaw, so I'm expanding the jaw, or extending, if you like, the jaw a little bit more to the left. I had the impression I had to go a bit further, so checking it out a bit more, and I think it's better this way. So extending the jaw, so getting the Loomis method first, and as you move along, as you can continue and you progress, you adapt the two spherical geometrical shapes that you start with, and you adapt them to the face that you're drawing or painting. Hair, hair. So as I said, I'll try and spray it, let it dry for a while, and then come back to it, and emphasis on very, very, very dark areas. Top of the lip, where the ear is, right, highlights here, earlobe, right at the jaw, you can bring back or down a little bit more, earlobe, okie dokie, and then some eyeball. And the other eyeball, which is light as well, as light as possible here. Okay, let's see with a bit more darks, darker. We'll spray and then put some more darks on the top of that. All right, after the spray, let's go back after the spray. Spray is there. Just done the spray, leave the brush, go back to my stump, see the darks are what darker to start with, and more consistent they do stay there to wherever you want to put them. And then I want to avoid those effects, because these are effects. Those very, very dark, sharp lines there. So I want to avoid them because we don't want a drawing which is basically full of very dark shadows and very light, because it becomes then it loses the authenticity. It just starts to become a little bit impressive, in the sense that the darks always attract more attention. You don't want that. You want to be an interesting drawing, but not a drawing full of effects. I mean, some people will prefer effects. Hollywood does effective, beautiful drawing of animals, which is very attractive. And they're masterpieces in their own right. But not to go for effects solely. You need to create a cohesive drawing. And the ponytail here. I'm rotating my stump. Okay. And possibly a little bit darker here to emphasize this new expanded chin. Darker there. Take some darks with my stump and come back. Bit more hair there. Careful with those darks again, not to be too destructive. And going back to this, I think that went too darker than I actually intended. That could stay as it is because it's an eyebrow. It's an additional dark. If you want to go out, go, go, go. Go. Sorry, Milo wanted to go out, so priorities. And a little bit darker here. Under the nose and not the nostril. Okay, I don't think I need more darks, but I'll push it as far as I can, to be honest, just to see where it can lead us. So darker on the eyebrow. The eyeball creates a beautiful line here. And then you have the bone structure of the eye cavity. Eyelid, closed eyes, we said earlier on. Okay, and coming back up here, the upper lip. Again, I think that went darker than I intended. Lower lip, dark. Darker lower lip, and possibly a little bit more rounded, or that light under here, a bit round, a bit more inwards, this way. that way. And trying to get rid of my sprayed drawing here to lighten up a little bit more, because I think I need it a little bit more here. It's harder once you spray it, but it's still kind of doable. And that light connects with the neck, or the shadow of the neck, Adam's apple here. So it's like a connected, reflected light. And a little bit lighter on the side plane here. Highlight on the nostril. Bit light on the nose itself. Lighter, 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 lighter. And also this dark here, it's a little bit darker than, again, I intend. So a bit highlighted here, a highlight of those. And then coming back to the reflected light on the side plane of his head. Cheekbone. Jaw angle. And also hairline. And I think I can go a little bit darker right here. Again, don't want to go too dark because otherwise we'll attract all the attention of the viewer will be on this area here. Don't want my attention of the viewers to be there, so I'm trying to keep it at a kind of sfumato. The Italian term will be smoky. So not too detailed. So keep it light or darker, but not towards too many details. A little bit more detail on the ears. I said that's part of his features, which is quite visible and very detailed. getting rid of that. It's too strong. And the ear itself, less. I don't think I need more details on that. So a bit more of a neck muscle here. There. Now I don't need to add a little bit of the eyebrow. It's all in the light here, but you can actually give a little bit of indication of the eyebrow there, and the eyelid. All right, I think that's enough. No need for anything more there. Too strong, less visible. That line. And a little bit. Don't emphasize it too much now, but bear with me, because that's not what I'm going to do. I will cut it and interfere with some highlights here. That's where the light illuminates his hair. And some highlights right here. Possibly a bit stronger here. Cannot completely keep it as light as I'm doing it here, so a bit stronger, bring some more here, and then a little bit more there, and here. And to be honest, on the background, how about we keep it at a darker tone of value, the whole thing. There's no need for too much details here. Just keep it as I see it there, because I think it's a nice dark background. Don't want to lose that. Charcoal is leaving loads of that line is just left on the charcoal. It's difficult to get rid of it, but I'm leaving it as it is. And he's obviously shoulder. neck. Shoulder, merge it with the background. How about I give him some highlights and we're done on this ponytail. Alright, okay, what's the thing today? Very first. Alright. I'll see you on the next one then.